An absolute diss. This makes me even more glad Capcom does what they do, and I hope they stick with it. Gain these regions some respect, even if it takes time. I don't know what we're respecting. Like a person comes out from this region, get their ass whooped, and then we gotta respect it. What is going on, guys? We are back again today. We're gonna go ahead and talk about something very important. The Capcom group stage. It seems like a lot of people isn't happy. They have a lot of reasons why. Some may not be good, but I'm gonna go ahead and talk about a couple of things that are good. I want you guys to know that I appreciate Capcom for doing what they're doing, giving talent all over the world a chance to play for $1 million, right? But there's a flaw in a couple of things on how they do it. I want to go ahead and talk about that. Make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Everyone's beating around the bush today and saying they want the old system back. Well, in reality, everyone just wants the best of the best at the World Final, which is true. I think, a lot of people want to see the best of the best, but I also think people want to see their best friend play against some of the best, right? But right now, the way how the system is formatted, most matches may feel like there's less of the best and more of the showcase of like all the regions. It's not really balanced so far. Capcom Cup is the only finals that is filled with 80% filler matches when you see certain player matchups. No diss to anyone, but it's the sad truth about our so-called world finals. There's a lot of killers that aren't qualified. I mean, I guess Capcom is like, well, we are tired of like most of the international being like Japanese players. But sometimes like they should be rewarded for their skill. These guys are the reason why the games are as popular as they are now. And I think seeing all those players being in the World Tour Finals will only up the numbers up by more than what it is now. So I get it, but at the same time, making a tour event and region locking it for only by those regions can have a chance is, the quality of matches falls down quite a lot. That's just the sad truth of it. A lot of people don't want to say that, but like that is the sad truth. Is that when you limit it to like regions and things, the quality of play falls down quite a bit. What Capcom should be doing right now, for example, like the regional finalists should get a tournament bracket to get into like the Capcom Cup, and like the top 8 will fight to be part of the slot rather than just you get 2 chances. Right now I just think that it's not really beneficial for people who are actually good. Most of it is based off luck, and a lot of people be like, well, I mean, if you're a good player, you're a pro player, you're supposed to be able to win off any circumstances and things like that, blah 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 blah. Well, here's the thing: tournament format is designed for any player to win. So no matter what circumstances that you are so-called saying about that player being the best in the world, just win. Well, the tournament format is designed for you to not win consistently. On top of the games getting even more volatile for players, so it's really hard for high caliber players to always win. But what makes it not fine is that now that we're playing in that format, now there's another format to even lock even more good players out. And I get it because you want people to like get a chance. But if a company is doing that particular to make that is not organic. That is unfair for a lot of good players, because you're making all of these rule sets to RNG a chance for that to happen, rather than just making a format that is beneficial for players that are new and there are players that are just legends dominating. I feel like if we're going to keep making Capcom Cup a whole week, we should just take those times throughout the week for the players that are region champions to like fight for a spot in the group. And I think that'd be really sick. Everybody wants an upset, but I don't think anybody wants a terms and conditions tournament where the best player can't even showcase why they're the best, but the new players can. If this was a tournament about the best, there would be no such thing as Group F death group, since every group will be extremely hard instead of getting random seeded groups where the best can end up together while the weaker players get easier groups and can possibly make it out. I don't think that's fair whatsoever. I think the point system is so important because the point system justifies the seeding and it makes sense. I think they should create a leaderboard for the point system. There's 8 groups, right? Let's say there are 8 qualifying spots. all the qualifiers get their own group. Let's just say 5 people make it, and then each slot can be an LCQ. It could be online, it could be offline, right? I think personally for me, what I would do, because they should make it where online is important, I think it should be qualifying spots offline, and then 8 qualifying spots online. Now the other players can be determined by points, and depending on how the points you got, depending on what groups that you get put in, right? Some, things like that I think will be really helpful, just by making it fair. But I'm just giving out an example, right? Bare bones example. But what I'm saying is the fact that you have Meta, Kaba, Ending Walker, Angry Bird, all in one spot. You got Fudo, Shin, Snake Eye. It's crazy, right? Valmaster, Gachikon, Takamura, NL. This is such a crazy group, right? When you look at a lot of these things, it's like, wow, some groups have a huge advantage, right? There's no reason to not be honest, because this is what we all about. And this is not to look down on players that are good, because obviously these players to a certain degree is good because they're here. But the level of caliber of difference is definitely huge. Mena Kaba, the person that he trains with, also is dominating. Same bracket. And the Walker, who is a young talent. And then your evil champion, Angry Bird, all in one bracket. Your evil champion, right off the bat, right? This can really rub a lot of players the wrong way. Like, congratulations, you won Evo. So, like, your first group is you have to fight some of the best players. And then you have a chance where, like, the power level is not the same. Because, let's be real here. The power level for all the groups is, there's not a lot of people on the same level. Capcom should really bring back the point system. The point system rewards consistency. There should also be a slot for the online qualifiers. If you want to do the region representation, but then keep a point system as well. So the people that are at least entering online, the people that win gets an auto spot, and then the people who are placing high also get consistency as well. That would naturally make players good, right? That would naturally make up-and-comers good, because they have to constantly be playing to play for their spot. Not just one time, and I'm about to go to Cancun for the rest of the year. No, not that. A lot of people say, I think Capcom can keep the format, but just let people enter any region. I think this is a pretty good way. If you want to, like, make sure you just have good internet. Kensington, we going to Africa. Whatever you got to do, right? The best of the best, or the most privileged, ? Because I don't think anyone wants to get rid of the World Warrior aspect of CPT. People just want more offline. So these fillers that you say are most likely staying. You were a filler once on a sea of Japanese players. Stop it. People are so crazy to say that. No, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. Top players are not privileged. I would say the attitude for some players that you may not like feels privileged, but the player aspect is not privileged whatsoever. And let me explain to you for one reason and one reason only. Let's say, for example, you are the best player in the world, and you fly out to a tournament. And let's say, for example, you jet lag. And let's say, for example, you had a rough weekend, and you never touched the stream one time. That means that you flew all the way out there as a sponsored player, got your ass whooped, did not see the stream station one time. Where in that is the privilege? Oh, you got a chance to travel across the world. Yeah, okay. And your sponsors are not happy. We sent you out here to New Zealand so you could get farmed by and not even go on stream one time? They worked just as hard as everybody else. And they established themselves, and they became consistent. So there's no privilege. That is called work ethic. You still have to work to stay relevant. These fighting games change all the time, and sometimes a lot of the best players are slow at adapting to the changes, and some people won't recognize them. And they will look at the new person who's the new star, which happens in most modern age opportunities in this world, who already made a name for themselves. You don't think these other people are not spending time and money to compete in their region? Let these feelers prove themselves and get a chance to become like you one day. So that's the thing right here. So why can't those others go and make a name for themselves the same way I did? Or how am I any more privileged because I made a name for myself from using my own money before any sponsor? And they said, but they're doing the same thing. A lot of them compete in locals, and they enter an online qualifier for points and got in the finals, and now they're in a big stage. Isn't that what you did also? Staying online and playing online is not the same as going around and winning championships, it's a two big difference there. The level of work that new players have to play now is nothing compared to what the older players had to do back in the day. But I'm happy for them. I'm glad that new players get to play online and get a chance to prove to themselves. However, there should be a line separating from the players that have worked really hard and established themselves, that are able to showcase way more caliber skill right now, currently, than the players online. And you know, people are going to feel offended to that, but that's just how it is. Where's the privilege? I think the privilege is the people that are playing online. I think that is a great privilege. And I think that is a privilege that we should support. I'm honestly okay with the new system because of the randomness of it. If certain brackets happen. They happen. If they don't, they don't. People gotta get this favorite player mentality out and let everything just ride. It's not even random at that point. I think when two of the best players are playing in top 8, it's more random than that because you don't know who's gonna win. That person has a good record. The other person has a good record. That other person has a good record too. I don't know who's gonna win. It's gonna be good. If I see, let's say for example, I see Joe Smo versus Daigo. Who's gonna vote for Joe Smo outside of his friends? You know deep down that person ain't gonna win, but you are betting the odds because you just want it to happen. And then when it happens, it's a luck of the draw. But 9 times out of 10, it's not gonna happen. Daigo's gonna cook Joe Smo. But why is the players that are high caliber, these guys always have to, there's always a cost of being the best player. An absolute diss. This makes me even more glad Capcom does what they do, and I hope they stick with it. Gain these regions some respect, even if it takes time. I don't know what we're respecting. You know, like a person comes out from this region, get their ass whooped, and then we gotta respect it. You know, like what is their respect? I respect the player that smoked all of the good players. I'm like, yo, this guy is ridiculous. Why do you think Kakaru's the way he is now? He went to Evo, and people were like, who is this guy? And then he went to an Invitational, and then he won it. He beat the Evo champion. That's why everybody loves him. You want the region to get respect? Well, the region go out and win tournaments. Look what Pakistan did. Pakistan was nothing. Nobody knew about Pakistan back in 2017. Pakistan literally became godlike, and you know what they did? They traveled, and that's how they got respect. So let's create stories organically and not just make stories because these script writers want to script it in a certain way. Let's just, how about if we want to do more region things, how about we do opportunities for region qualifiers to fly out to Capcom Cup and showcase their skill set and get a chance to get into LCQ spot or anything in the matter, rather than just getting a whole spot. Again, I want new players to get a chance to play some of the best players, because I think there are a lot of players that didn't really get a chance, that it could be a promising future. You know, players like Paladin, right? Paladin has a good future ahead of him. So I would like Paladin to have more opportunities to be able to showcase what he's at now and where he could be in the next 5 years. So, you know, again, Capcom, I appreciate for all you guys are always doing. Y'all always are trying to change it up and, you know, try to benefit the players sometimes. But I feel like in this direction, I feel like you guys benefit the player, but just not as much as you guys should. No diss, no hate, but I just want things to be fair for everybody, you know? Equality, baby. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you guys leave a like. Let me know how you guys feel. I'll see you guys in the comment section. Signing out. See you guys next time.